Beginning our broadcast, many cow-calf producers rely heavily on harvested forages in their year-round feeding program. Sampling and testing forages can help in implementing a feeding program that is not only nutrient-friendly, but also economically friendly. Market Journal's Bill Dodd spoke with Nebraska Extension educator Steve Niemeyer to learn how testing forage can save producers a few bucks in the long run.
One goal many cattle producers share is finding a way to reduce feed costs and increase grazing days. This usually requires the implementation of harvested forages as part of their feeding program. By testing forage, producers are able to create a nutritionally optimal and economically advantageous feeding program.
Well, we're pushing pretty hard over the years to get your hay and feed samples for your beef cattle analyzed for nutrient requirements and stuff. So we're able to help you with ration balancing and make a diet for your cows. So just like protein and alfalfa hay can range from 10 to 25% on a dry matter basis, and grass hay will contain between 4 to 18% sometimes. So it depends on your field, and your quality of your forage and stuff can vary. So that can make a big difference on your balancing of your ration and stuff. So
Steve also tells me it's a good idea to know where your forage is coming from and when it was put up. One factor that can impact forage quality is maturity at harvest. As the forage is mature, fiber concentration will increase, and as the fiber is less digestible than other plant parts, fiber digestibility will inevitably decrease as plants mature as well.
So that's all part of the knowing what kind of hay you're getting. So a lot of it you don't know a lot of people buy their hay now. I mean, it's moving a little bit right now, especially in the dry areas. They're trying to buy it. You'd want to make sure it's tested if you can. If you don't, before you buy it, be nice, because you don't know, they might just take a example and think that's what it is without being tested. So when it starts talking $100 a ton, you want to make sure you got the good quality of what you're buying and you know what you're getting and stuff like that. So that's one thing.
When it comes to testing your forage, there are a variety of sampling and testing methods available. So what are some of the best ways to get a sample, and how do you ensure that you're getting an accurate analysis of the product in question?
Well, there's a way to do it. We have, hay probes. They do infrared now, instead of just taking a bunch of hay out and oven dry it like the old days we did. Some of the labs now, they'll do it through microwave, so it's a grinding process of the hay. So most of our hay is put up in round bales. So we're looking at probably 9 bales to sample per sample of quality for quality. We got a hay probe that we can use. Some of the extension offices with beef educators will have the probes. Then we just put electric drill on the side, portable drill, and we go inside the bale to get a couple samples. I can usually get 3 or 4 bales in this one canister, and you'd like to get a representation of your bales that you can. So it's a little trick to it, some equipment, and then we package it, and then you get tested for some different things.
Once you've conducted the testing, it's time to put that information to work. For instance, livestock producers may want to save some high-quality hay for any animals in need of elevated nutrient requirements, while saving lower-quality hay for livestock with lower nutrient requirements, or animals that could use a higher level of fiber.
What we're looking at basically for the cow, is the moisture content, the energy value, and the protein value are the main 3 that we're going to be looking for, the TDN and stuff. So once we get our samples, you can get, there's programs where you can balance your rations. And so you got to know how much you're feeding. So you really need a scale. You just don't take a little bit here and there, type of deal. So actually you'd want to, if you're feeding them, a lot of the sandhill ranchers, they're just laying out the hay, that's how they feed their cows. But a lot of times, the calves, weaning calves, bull calves, whatever you got, or even cows, you're grinding the hay, making a ration for them. So we haven't got ours tested yet, but our silage is up in the pile. We got bales coming home. We got the gluten in the pan. he's feeding the gluten and the distillers already, and corn. So got to try to match up and see what your best cost is and least cost rations and quality.
When in doubt, Steve recommends reaching out to your local extension office if you feel any extra assistance in determining your nutrition needs would be beneficial.
The extension office, we don't work with a whole lot of big feedlots and stuff. Most of the feedlots would have their own nutritionists that do their programming for them. A lot of the cow-calf producers are a little bit smaller sometimes, and they don't have the nutritionists helping them as much. So we have a few guys that are pretty good at ration balancing for the cows and stuff, and to see what you've got. Big questions are always the lick tubs and stuff like that if we need them, and that kind of things. What we're trying to do is help you, least cost too a little bit to make the ration required and beneficial for the animal for their needs.
Sampling is by far the most crucial variable in terms of accuracy in your feed analysis. As the feed value of forages vary, testing forages regularly can help you implement those resources in the most economically advantageous way. Reporting for Market Journal, I'm Bill Dodd.